Good morning, Year 10. Welcome to virtual learning. Very unique times, I think we can all appreciate. So I thought I'd just put this together to do my best to support you and to recreate that classroom environment as best we can. It's well done to so many of you yesterday for getting your work over to me. That was really impressive. I appreciate that. This new situation is going to take some adjusting to. So well done on that front. I just thought I'd start today's lesson on with a quick quiz on the composition of the league, just consolidating what we've done previously. First question, and by the way, you feel free to do this either following this PowerPoint or getting a family member or someone in your household to test you. Entirely up to you how to do this, but the first question is: name the group of powerful nations which ran the League of Nations. Then, did countries have to follow the rulings of the International Court of International Justice? Third question: name a major weakness of the League of Nations. Finally, what was the section of the League of Nations which was in charge of administration called? Answer to question 1 is the Assembly. Answer to question 2 is no, and that's quite important. It will come up quite a lot later on. It also ties into this answer as well. The name a major weakness of the League of Nations is that it had no army to enforce rulings. So essentially, if a member state was doing something it shouldn't have been doing, and everyone got together to issue a ruling saying that they should stop doing that, they had nothing to force them to do so apart from condemnation and maybe economic sanctions. But even then, that was quite complicated. So that is going to be quite important, particularly when it comes to some of the stronger members who start disobeying the League's rulings. Finally, number 4, what was the section of the League of Nations which is in charge of administration called? This was the Secretariat. Okay, so we go on to what we're actually looking at today. We're looking at how successful the League of Nations was in the 1920s, and there's 3 key things we really I want you to get out today. We want to be able to describe some of the successes and failures of the League of Nations in the 1920s, then to be able to explain the actions that the League took to achieve some of those successes it got, and start to build towards an assessed answer on how successful the League was in the 1920s. So you can see we've got this table in front of you, and what you have to do, you have a Word document that is also attached to Frog, then which has information on all 4 of these disputes. These were 4 things that the League of Nations had to do. And the first thing you have to do is just summarize it. Please don't just copy and paste it in your own words. Just summarize it in your own words and make it as simple as possible. So taking Bulgaria 1925, a summary of the dispute is that the Greek and Bulgarian armies clashed on the border between those 2 countries, and Bulgaria claimed Greece was to blame, and the Greeks appealed to the League. So keep nice and simple, and then all you have to do is explain what the League actually did, and then give your assessment. And that's really, and what I mean by that, I don't want you to just write success or failure. I want you to justify why you've said success or failure. Okay, some of them you might argue that they were kind of a success and a failure. If that is the case, you still have to explain why you've chosen that. As for what format you need to present this in, you can either just simply print this out and fill it in using a pen and just take a picture and send it in. That's absolutely fine. You could write out and copy out your own version into your book and again take a picture, send it in. Or you could do it on the computer, fill it in using PowerPoint or Word or whatever, and email it in or upload to Frog. So once you've done that, and that is kind of your big bulky task for today, this next bit is kind of just a bonus if you have time to do that. If you've already worked for quite an extensive period of time on the big table, then just see this as like an extra challenge. It's not totally mandatory, although it will help you if you do get it, if you want to really extend your learning. What you have to do, print it out, or you can just do this on your computer and highlight the successes in one color and the failures in another, and then rank the successes and failures. So look at a couple of model versions. The Commission on Armaments is where the League set up an independent commission, but it failed to get agreement on disarmament because Britain objected. This is an example of the League failing because it was basically paralysed and utterly useless in the face of opposition from one of its stronger members, Britain. So I've coloured that in red to suggest that it was a failure. The action on slaves, the League attacked slave traders in Africa and Burma and freed 200,000 slaves. So this is an example of success. So you just go through the rest of that and then rank it. With regards to how to get your work back to me, you can either the work is put on Frog and you have got the option to upload it there. If you prefer, you can, or because I know there's been some problems with Frog with regards to uploading stuff due to the volume of traffic going to the website. If you're having problems, just email it to me, andrew.hunter@freerivers.thpt.org.uk. I will also, like yesterday, make myself available on Microsoft Teams in our normal allotted lesson time, which is 9 till 10 a.m. So if you have individual questions or if you're stuck on a particular task, feel free to drop me a line on there. You can drop me a line outside those hours. It's just that you might not get an instant response because I might be doing something for another class or something at that point. But as said, well done to everyone for making such a good start to this to this unique situation. Keep up the good work and keep sending those queries through if you're stuck on it.